The first casualty. The first casualty of war is not a soldier. It is truth. Before the bombs fall, before the guns speak, before the world even notices, someone makes a decision in a quiet room. Picture it, a conference table made of dark wood, polished to reflect the faces gathered around it. Men in suits, some in uniform, all of them calm, all of them certain. Outside, people are walking their dogs. Children are learning multiplication. Couples are arguing about dinner plans. Life is ordinary. Life is safe. But in this room, maps are spread across the table like tablecloths at a feast. Borders highlighted in yellow. Cities marked with red pins. Resources circled in blue ink. Someone points at a river. If we secure this position here, someone else nods. Air support from the north. Lines are drawn with pencils, thin, gray, erasable lines. Lives reduced to arrows pointing across terrain. Populations become numbers. Neighborhoods become coordinates. And just like that, with the stroke of a pen, with a signature at the bottom of a document, with a handshake and a nod, war begins. Not with violence. Not with chaos. War begins with paperwork. The room empties. The lights go off. The decision has been made. Tomorrow, young men will receive letters. Families will gather around kitchen tables to read words like deployment and service and duty. Mothers will try not to cry. Fathers will speak of honor while their voices crack. But tonight, the decision makers go home. They have dinner with their families. They sleep in comfortable beds. They do not think about the weight of what they've set in motion, because distance makes it easier. Maps make it abstract. Language makes it noble. And by the time the world understands what's happening, it will be too late to stop it. Act 2, the border. At the border, the ground trembles. It's 4 in the morning. The sky is still dark but not peaceful. It's the kind of darkness that feels like it's waiting, holding its breath. Young men stand in rows. Some are 18, some 19. A few are older but not by much. They wear helmets that feel too heavy, boots that are still stiff and new, dog tags that clink softly when they move. Their hands shake, not from cold, though the morning air bites at their skin. They shake from something deeper, from fear they were never taught how to name. In training, they learned how to march, how to shoot, how to follow orders without question. But no one taught them how to hold their hands steady when they realize this is real. No one prepared them for the moment when practice becomes survival. Some of them think of home. They see their mother's kitchen, smell coffee brewing, hear their little sister laughing at something stupid on TV. These memories feel impossibly distant now, like looking at photographs of someone else's life. Others think of the propaganda films they were shown, the speeches about defending freedom, protecting the homeland, standing up against enemies who want to destroy everything they love. They believe it. Most of them. They have to believe it. Because the alternative, that they're standing here for reasons they don't understand, about to kill people they've never met over disputes they didn't start, that alternative is unbearable. A commanding officer walks past. His face is stone. He's done this before. You can see it in the way he doesn't look at them as individuals, only as a unit. A machine made of flesh. Remember your training, he says. His voice is calm. Practiced. Stay sharp. Watch your sectors. Trust the man beside you. Trust the man beside you. That part at least is true. Because whatever happens next, however this ends, the person in the trench beside you is the only thing that matters. Not the flag. Not the speeches. Not the reasons written in classified documents. Just the voice that says, I've got you. Just the hand that pulls you down when the world explodes. The sun begins to rise. Light creeps across the horizon like it's apologizing for what it's about to illuminate. And then, the order comes. Act 3, the first day. War does not arrive screaming. It arrives disguised as duty, as honor, as necessity. It promises glory, but it delivers graves. The first shells fall at dawn. They make a sound like the sky tearing open. The ground erupts. Dirt and smoke and pieces of earth fly into the air and rain back down like hail. Soldiers run. Some toward the enemy. Some toward cover. Some just run because their bodies take over when their minds shut down. The noise is beyond anything they imagined. In movies, war has a soundtrack. Dramatic music. Clear dialogue. But real war is just chaos. It's a wall of sound so loud you can't think. Can't hear your own heartbeat. Can't hear yourself scream. Someone falls. Was he hit? Or did he trip? There's no time to check. Keep moving. Keep your head down. Don't think. Don't feel. Just survive the next 10 seconds. Meanwhile, miles away, cities wake up to sirens instead of sunlight. A mother is making breakfast when the windows explode inward. Glass everywhere. Her daughter screams. She grabs her, pulls her down, covers her with her own body. Where do they go? The hallway? The basement? Is anywhere safe? The radio crackles with emergency broadcasts. Seek shelter immediately. This is not a drill. Seek shelter immediately. But some neighborhoods don't have shelters. Some buildings are too old, too poor, too forgotten by the city planners who made maps and quiet rooms. A school becomes rubble in seconds. It's empty, thank God it's empty, it's too early for classes, but tomorrow it would have been filled with children. Tomorrow hundreds of kids would have been sitting at those desks that are now splinters and dust. A hospital, marked clearly with red crosses on the roof, gets hit. They say it was an accident. They say intelligence indicated weapons were stored there. They say a lot of things that might be true or might be the first casualty speaking from its grave. Doctors try to operate while the building shakes, while lights flicker, while the wounded keep coming and there aren't enough hands or beds or blood or time. A home, someone's home with family photos on the wall and a kitchen table where they shared meals and argued about politics and celebrated birthdays, becomes a memory, becomes a crater, becomes coordinates in a report. And somewhere in the chaos, a mother screams a name. She screams it until her voice breaks. She screams it until her neighbors pull her back from the rubble. She screams it knowing that her son, her baby, her boy who just learned to ride a bike last summer, will never answer again. War, they said, would be quick, surgical, precise. But war is none of those things. War is a meat grinder dressed up in the language of strategy. Act 4, the days that follow. Time loses meaning. Days blur into smoke. One morning looks like the last. One night stretches endlessly into the next. There is no rhythm anymore. No routine. No normal. Just survival. Soldiers fight not for the reasons they were given. Not for the speeches or the slogans printed on recruiting posters. They fight for the person beside them. For the friend in the trench who knows their hometown. Who's seen their photographs from home. Who promised to make it through this together. Because in war, brotherhood is the only thing stronger than fear. They learn to sleep in 3-minute intervals. To eat without tasting. To stop flinching at every sound, because if you flinch at everything you'll never stop shaking. They learn which sounds mean danger. The whistle of incoming artillery, the crack of a sniper's rifle, the roar of aircraft overhead. They learn to read the sky. To smell rain coming. To know when the night is too quiet. They stop talking about home. It hurts too much. Home feels like a dream they once had. Like a story someone told them about people they used to be. Letters arrive from family. They read them once and put them away. Some guys read them over and over until the paper tears at the creases. Some guys never open them at all. How do you explain this to people who aren't here? How do you write, "I'm fine, don't worry," when you watched your best friend die yesterday? When you haven't felt clean in weeks? When you close your eyes and see things that will never leave? Civilians adapt too. They have to. They learn to recognize the sound of different weapons. To know which sirens mean immediate danger and which mean all clear. They learn to sleep in basements, to ration food, to stand in line for water. Children draw pictures of the war. Teachers don't know whether to stop them or encourage it. Maybe it helps them process. Maybe it traumatizes them further. There's no manual for this. Old people sit in dark apartments and remember the last war. Some thought they'd never see this again. Some always knew it would come back. History, they mutter, has a sick sense of humor. Hope is rationed like bread. Each day you wake up is a victory. Each loved one who survives another night is a miracle. The bar for happiness drops so low that still alive becomes a blessing worth celebrating. And slowly, war changes everyone it touches. The soldier who was gentle becomes hard. The child who was innocent becomes suspicious. The believer loses faith. The skeptic finds it in strange places. In shared food, in whispered jokes, in the way humans somehow keep caring for each other even when everything says they shouldn't. Humanity is tested. And somehow, impossibly, it survives. Not unchanged. Never unchanged. But it survives. Act 5, the aftermath. When the fighting finally stops, and it does stop, eventually, because nothing lasts forever, the world calls it peace. But peace is not quiet. It is haunted. The soldiers come home. Some are carried in flag-draped coffins, honored at ceremonies where strangers thank them for their service. Some walk off planes on their own legs, carrying invisible wounds that are somehow heavier than the visible ones. They're told they're heroes. They're given medals and parades and speeches about sacrifice and duty. Politicians shake their hands. Photographers capture their homecomings for the evening news. But at night they lie awake. They hear sounds that aren't there. They smell smoke from fires that were extinguished months ago. They see faces of the dead, not just enemy soldiers but civilians, children, the ones who were in the wrong place when the right orders were given. Some talk about it, most don't. How do you explain war to people who've only seen it in movies? How do you describe the weight of taking a life, even when you were told it was necessary? Even when you were told they were the enemy? Some find solace in other veterans. In people who understand without needing explanations. Who can sit in silence together and have it mean something. Some never find solace at all. The civilians rebuild. Brick by brick. Life by life. Someone has to clean up the rubble. Someone has to bury the dead. Someone has to plant gardens where buildings used to stand. Children grow up with gaps in their memories. Before the war becomes a phrase that marks time. Before the war we lived in that house. Before the war Dad was different. Before the war I thought the world was safe. Empty chairs sit at dinner tables. Birthdays pass without the person they're meant for. Anniversaries arrive like wounds that won't close. Names are carved into stone memorials. Tourists will visit them someday and take photographs. School groups will learn about the conflict in history class, reducing these names to statistics, to a paragraph in a textbook, to a question on a test. But for those who lived it, each name is a story that ended too early. Each name is a voice that's missing from the conversation. Each name is someone who should have grown old. The politicians who started it move on to other decisions. Some face consequences. Most don't. They write memoirs justifying their choices. They give lectures about the necessity of difficult decisions and difficult times. They sleep fine. The maps are filed away. The pencil marks erased. The conference room is used for other meetings now. And somewhere in another quiet room, someone is looking at a map, drawing lines, reducing lives to arrows. Because war is remembered as history. But for those who lived it, for the soldier who jumps at the sound of fireworks, for the mother who still sets a place at the table for a son who's never coming home, for the child who draws pictures of fire instead of flowers, it is a wound time never fully heals. The first casualty of war is truth. But the last casualty is innocence. And unlike soldiers, innocence doesn't get to come home.